Hello, Scorpio. Welcome to this reading. On August 11th, the 3-week Mercury Retrograde is finally over. So in this video, we are going to be taking a look at what is coming forward for you here now that Mercury is direct for the week of August 11th. Now, do keep in mind that this is a general reading, so take the messages as they resonate, drop the ones that do not, and also check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. All right, Scorpio, let's go ahead and see what we have coming forward for you here. Now that we've got direct motion here from Mercury. Now, I don't know about you, but this retrograde was a bit of a doozy for me. It felt like a very long one, and it felt like I was stumbling over words more than I already usually do. And yeah, anyway, it'll be good to see this new energy here. So let's get all the cards out here, get everything set up and in view, and then we'll get right into it for you. All right. Starting off here with double nines. All right, so we'll talk about that in this reading. And yeah, let me get the card set up. Okay, I think that's looking just about good enough to me. All right, energy on the bottom. You have the Queen of Pentacles. All right. So the Queen of Pentacles, this is somebody who is very, how should I say, practical and kind of grounded. Okay, so I think some of you here are looking to take a practical, grounded approach in some area. You could be taking on this Queen of Pentacles energy. Now, this person is presumably wealthy. This person is presumably abundant. And you can see that here by there are grapes surrounding, or fruits here surrounding the Queen of Pentacles. This is in the tarot a sign of abundance. And the way that they've gotten to their throne, so to speak, is that they have really created healthy habits and solid routines, right? And so some of you here, when you look at this Queen of Pentacles, it may mean that this week or in the weeks that follows, you're maybe looking to make some routine changes here, or changes to the routine, changes to the structure of the day here that put you in a position to where you want to go if you're not already there. And maybe some of you are already there. You have a fantastic set of cards here looking here, you have a fantastic set of cards, so I like this for you. But some of you, there may be something here that you're looking to maybe bring down to earth, or there may be something connected to your habits, your routines, these sorts of things. Now, I'm really drawn to a lot of the yellow and the orange here in the cards, and just focusing on the yellow, that is the solar plexus chakra, is what I connect the color yellow to, which is your power center, right? This is where you derive, in some respects, confidence, willpower, and the orange may connect to the sacral, which can talk about your self-worth, these sorts of things. I have a feeling that some of you are maybe courageously going forward with something, okay, in your situation here. I actually see a lot of success on the board for you here in career, and potentially in your financial area, but more so career, as we see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 wands cards, which are great for career aspects. So right away in the middle, you do have the Hermit. So the Hermit is a card that may indicate, well, first is a 9, I'll get into what that means, but the Hermit, it may indicate that some of you are kind of needing a little bit of space away from someone, or away from the world, or away from a situation to think. All right, this person is gaining wisdom. This person is knowledgeable. This can indicate self-study. The key word here with the 9s is the self. Okay, 9s connect to you. Okay, what you are trying to do, what you are trying to create, what you are trying to learn. 9s connect to the self. Okay, and so some of you here, I think there's something about independence. I think there's something about sustainability, like the ability to sustain oneself. These sorts of financial independence is showing up here as well. And, the Hermit, it may mean that you're kind of searching for those answers. And maybe you found them, maybe you haven't, but you're searching for these types of answers at this time, okay? So let's move forward here. Let's take a look at this first column. You have the 5 of Wands, the 10 of Wands, and the Devil. All right, so today, I think you're the 4th reading I've done, and everyone has gotten the Devil card. All right, so that's very interesting. And on one hand, a positive way of looking at the devil is it can indicate power, right? And power and desires as well. It's the question of the devil is how do you wield your power, and also, how are your desires aligned? What kind of desires on their own are not a bad thing, and also, are you like overconsumed in meeting a desire or experiencing a desire as well? Like, is it all consuming? Are you overconsumed by this desire that you have, right? So on one hand, that's certainly something here that maybe you're looking at. On the other hand, that the devil, it may be a sense of entrapment. You see the people here are chained to the devil, and it may feel like just some of you, I've noticed a theme now in these readings for this week with the Ten of Wands and the devil. You may feel like you're trapped in a mountain of work, or there's some, like, you're not the first sign to get this. So many people have been getting this Ten of Wands devil combination, and I use multiple decks. I shuffle the cards very well. So like this is a repeating theme for people. And, some of you here, you may just have a lot on your plate at this time. And with the Queen of Pentacles, it may mean that some of you want to bring this down to earth. Okay, you want to kind of maybe take a practical approach to solving each thing line by line, step by step, right? And kind of try to take one thing at a time here. And also, again, do your habits support your ability to power through everything, to complete every task on your plate, or to work through something here? As the Ten of Wands is a card of a heavy workload, or having a lot that you have to carry, like a burden that you have to carry, or a lot that you have to carry at this time, okay? And the good news is with the Ten of Wands, it can be a completion as well in the tarot, which is nice. You do have the Five of Wands here, which can indicate competition. It can also indicate like conflict in some area. I think this is probably more about like a personal conflict or an inner conflict that you may be having here, as I don't really see a ton of other people cards other than the Knight and the Queen of Pentacles. I'm not sure that this is a conflict with someone else. It feels like an inner battle, or a internal conflict that you may be kind of going through at this time, connected to this feeling that you have a lot on your plate right now, okay? In the middle, you do have the Nine of Pentacles, the Hermit, and the Knight of Wands here. All right, so I like this. So we've talked about the nines. You've got the two nines here two of the nines here in the middle column. Again, connecting to you, Scorpio, connecting to the self. And the Nine of Pentacles is becoming one of my favorite cards in the tarot. This person has kind of figured it out. This person is financially independent, okay? You can see that they have the tree here that is containing the pentacles and the fruit, indicating that they can sustain themselves, right? They're financially independent. They can take care of themselves, right? This is somebody who doesn't need support from others. They don't necessarily need support from others. They're able to kind of handle their tasks. And I like this for you. This can also maybe suggest that you have an opportunity to enjoy some of the luxuries in life at this time, as you've built something solid for yourself here. They've kind of figured it out, because they've got one hand on a pentacle and they've got another hand free to do whatever they want. So, or available for them to, it's the idea that they can kind of, spend their time in a way that they want to, in however way they want to. So some of you with that Hermit here, are you searching for that? Like, have you found that yet? Or have you already found it? But some of you may be searching for that here, and it may indicate that with the Knight of Wands, there's an opportunity to move in that direction if you're not there yet, And maybe some of you want to be entrepreneurs. I definitely see that vibe here on the board here, Scorpio. Or maybe you just want a side hustle that creates a little bit more time away. I know that that's maybe adding time, right? A side hustle might add time, but that may indicate that a side hustle may create freedom eventually. It may eventually create freedom from for example, traditional job. Some of you are looking to create freedom here with the Nine of Pentacles, Hermit, and the Knight of Wands. Knight of Wands is a freedom lover, okay? They are somebody who loves exploring, particularly foreign lands. The Knight of Wands is associated with foreign travel or foreign lands, potentially. They're an adventurer. They like exploring the world, right? This is a freedom lover. And so you can like attach that to your scenario. It doesn't necessarily mean that you have to travel, but it may mean that you're just looking to create freedom. This person's also a jack of all trades. So to me, it would suggest that you have a variety of skills that you can use to maybe get yourself to this spot here that you're looking to get to. It may also, in a different way, indicate a move. I would want more confirmation of that, but it is the biggest probably moving card in the tarot when you're ready to change residence. But I would want more confirmation of that with some other cards. Maybe we'll get that in the clarifications. In the final column here, you have the Judgment, the Ace of Wands, and the Six of Wands. So Ace of Wands is the side hustles card, or it could be in a kind of like a more modern way of looking at tarot. If it's not like a side hustle, it could indicate starting a business or starting something new in your career. Maybe you've already accepted a job, right? And, you know, first day of work or whatever, you're starting something new, or there's like a new project at work or something like this. It's one of my favorite cards in the tarot. You've got a couple of them here with the Ace of Wands, Nine of Pentacles, Knight of Wands. These are really solid cards. But the Ace of Wands is like initiation, right? It's the spark of life. It usually means that you're very excited about starting something new, particularly in business and career areas, right? So I like the foundation of this reading so far. You have Judgment as well. Judgment it's a deep card, right? Judgment is a deep card. It can indicate that some of you are going through some major realizations right now. I think it's probably tied to self-worth. Okay, looking at this with the Nine of Pentacles and the Hermit, right? I think it's probably tied to like, are you giving more than you're getting back? You know, these sorts of things, especially in career scenarios here. You know, are there other opportunities available? Is it time for you to change something up or shift something around here? You then here have the Six of Wands, which is a major victory in the tarot as well. Especially, you've got the Five of Wands into the Six of Wands here in a diagonal. Diagonals are directions that you're headed. So if right now in this week you are dealing with some conflict or struggle or battle here, it looks like on the other side of this is some sort of victory or success over that situation. Okay, with the Six of Wands here. I also generally think that any new start is pretty blessed for you here with the Ace of Wands and the Six of Wands. The Knight of Wands, will it take legwork? Yeah, it will take some legwork. You'll have to put in some hours, but it seems like it's pretty solid, okay, if you're really looking to start something here. Especially looking at the astrology, it's generally best to start after retros, but yeah, that's just like kind of a side note. So you could have a nice window of opportunity to initiate something. All right, let's move into the clarifications portion of this reading here. I'll start off by pulling some oracle cards. I'm going to use the Psychic Tarot Oracle. I like this deck because it blends tarot and oracle, and then we'll move into clarifying these 9 cards as well. All right, let's see what we have here. Okay. All right, we'll take those 2, those 3. Wow, you pulled a lot of cards. All right, you have Sacrifice on the bottom. All right, so that would be the Hanged Man. Yeah, sometimes you got to give something up to get something else, you know, especially when you're looking to start on something new here. Let's take a look at these 3 cards. Okay, so you have Obstacles and Challenges, 5 of Wands, Victory and Success, which would be the 6. And then you have the Heart Chakra here as well. Now, I was talking about the solar plexus and the sacral chakra, but that would be 2 would be sacral, 3 would be solar, and then the 4 would be the heart chakra, right? So you kind of got that area, that region of the the energetic center of you here that's being highlighted. All right. So what do you feel in your heart as you start something new? And there it is, the card that we've been waiting for: sacral chakra, discontent and boredom, as well as solitude. So the sacral chakra is really, it can connect to self-worth. It also is connected. It's like the sexual energy centers as well. In the chakras system, and a good way of with the sacral chakra, let's say it's blocked or you just want to do some work, setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is a great way to strengthen that sacral chakra. And also I've read, and through my work with Reiki and just working with the chakras, sacral chakra, a good way to strengthen that is doing yoga as well, if that's something that you're inclined to do. You have the stand your ground, spiritual union, and truth. Some of you may realize something about a partner here that you're involved with the spiritual union, this truth card, which is the judgment card here, and standing your ground. Talk about boundaries, right? So some of you, that may be on the table here, especially with the devil as well, and this desire of like maybe solo energy, this desire to go solo a little bit here with the hermit. We'll see what's going on in the relationships now. Let's move into the clarifications portion of this, or sorry, let's move into clarifying the 9 cards here. Still retrograde while I'm recording this. All right, as always, Scorpio, I really appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I do hope things are going well for you. All right. All right, let's see here. Okay, you have the Empress, 9 of Swords, and the King of Swords. Empress, 9 of Swords, King of Swords. All right, so we have another 9. So we have 999. That's a number that I would like you to be on the lookout for in this week and the weeks that follow. 999 is a strong number, okay? For me, it always indicates that you're going through like a major spiritual transformation. There are spiritual transformations on the horizon for you. There's something big that's going on for you at this time. You don't always see that number, okay? For example, that's not a number you will see on your stove or on the clock, right? So when you see 999, that is a very strong indication that maybe even something's coming to a close as well. Like you're really ready to kind of go into the next step here for yourself. With the 9 of Swords, that can indicate fears and anxieties, particularly around this workload or this heavy burden that you're carrying here with the 10 of Wands. You have the King of Swords as well, which is about leadership, potentially. Some of you here, leadership, and also being unafraid here to set boundaries with someone with this devil energy here. Maybe some of you are being called on, like, intuitively to do that, okay, as well. And the Empress is a major sign of fertility. It's also the mother of the tarot as well. So there could be something going on there, but it's more so about abundance, okay? The Empress is more so about like having fertile ground to plant a seed, to create life. It is a fertility sign, by the way, you know, especially with the Ace of Wands. That's actually a classic combination, Ace of Wands. So if you are trying at this time, it is actually a good sign here with the Ace of Wands and the Empress based on this reading. Ace of Cups, it would be great to see that as well, but yeah, that's definitely here. What else? It feels like outside of that, like a new beginning is really, really manifested and blessed for you. Let's see what we have. You have the 4 of Wands. You have the 7 of Wands here. And you have the King of Pentacles. So there is a counterpart here showing up, King and Queen of Pentacles. Usually that's a pretty good sign. There may even be something around risk-taking that's going on here. With the Knight of Wands. Yeah, there may even be something about risk-taking. Some of you are maybe playing it a bit safe here at this time with the King and Queen of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands, the Hermit. You know, I was talking about having these like practical habits and routines, these healthy practical habits and routines, which I think is going to be very important as well for you during this time. But there's now a message here around like risk-taking potentially, okay? The thing that prevents the King and the Queen of Pentacles, it's slow and steady wins the race, right? Versus the Wands court cards, like the Knight of Wands, they achieve success by taking risks. So some of you are maybe looking at blending that right now. Okay, I know that's a little hard to follow, but some of you are maybe looking to blend that right now. You have the 7 of Wands, another message here around standing your ground. Okay, you've pulled that twice, and you're pulling so many Wands cards, okay? So Wands, you know, passion, initiation, inspiration, career, business. These sorts of things are all on the table for you. Life, you know, as well. And I think this is a big theme for where you are right now. You do have this Four of Wands, which is stability. I like what's going on in the financial, like money area of your reading here, okay? With the Four of Wands indicating stability or celebrations or ceremonies, as well as that Nine of Pentacles. It feels more so like stability to me. Okay, you do have this Two of Cups. Yeah, there's definitely a question around relationship here. Nine of Wands and the Fool. What I'll say is if there is somebody telling you to not initiate the start, like if you have something you really want to do, like you really want a new beginning in some area, or there's something that you really, really want to try out, and there's somebody saying, no, that's never going to work, that's not for you, yeah, that's not their choice, that's not their decision. For you, you feel very strongly about this, and the cards are saying that it's important to stick to that, okay? Stick to that if you really want to try it. There's a question of relationship here with the spiritual union, Two of Cups, same card, with the Judgment energy, and then this idea of the devil, boundary setting, these sorts of things. There's a question of like what's going on here that some of you are looking to ask and investigate. And it may very well mean that, especially with that Nine of Swords, it may very well mean that you have this heart-to-heart, or you discover something and you find the answer to the next steps that you will be taking, okay? I'll leave it open because it's not entirely clear. Like, there's no breakup energy here, but there is a solo energy, okay? With all the nines, even the wands, and even a new beginning. The Fool is like trusting the universe, right? Not necessarily knowing where you're going, but knowing you're going somewhere, and just allowing yourself to be guided by the universe, to trust the universe as you start something new. It's a very powerful new beginning, especially with the Ace of Wands. So I throw out a lot of timelines here. There's a lot going on in this reading, and it's generally very positive, provided that you go in the direction of your goals, right? Like, this is not a reading where, this reading is essentially saying don't live somebody else's dream, okay? Be very careful to not allow yourself to be swayed too strongly by someone's opinions here, right? Of what you should be doing. On the bottom, you do have the Four of Cups. This is a card that can be associated with avoidance. The universe wants to gift you with something. Be careful that you do not avoid it, okay? And that gift can come in many directions, such as a blessing in disguise, right? Like you learn something about a particular person, or about a job, or a colleague, or whatever the case may be, an opportunity, whatever it is. Do not avoid it, right? Let's see what we have here in the Kipper energies for you. You have the Pathway card. You have the Privileged Lady, Coffin, Marriage, Toil and Labor, as well as Message of Concern. There is a concern that some of you have within a relationship or in connection to another person. I know this is now counterintuitive, or counterintuitive to what I said earlier, which is, earlier I was saying that this feels like an internal conflict. I think that I'm talking to two people. I'm talking to people who are in kind of two different buckets here in this reading. Some people are there's a internal conflict here, and you got to figure that out. And then there's others of you here where the conflict, it may involve what's going on between me and this person. And maybe those two things live together in that you're internally conflicted on how to handle another person in your situation, okay? Hopefully that makes sense. But some of you are also internally conflicted around work, toil and labor here. With that card plus the Nine of Swords, Ten of Wands combination, and you're thinking about finishing this, wiping your hands free of that burden that you have. Yeah, and for many of you, more so than another person, this will be around your occupation or your job or what you do for work. Scorpio, make the most of this direct energy here. Thank you so much for being here. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and I'll most certainly be talking to you again soon.